Well, good morning and welcome. Or maybe it's good afternoon or good evening, depending on where in the world you're located and the time of day that you're watching. Hey, if you're watching, I'd love it if you could drop a comment below. Let me know if you're watching Team Live or Team Replay. My name is Brenda Meller. This is a virtual open house for my signature program, which is called the Recipe for Social Selling on LinkedIn. Now, I did one of these events last night at 8 p.m., and I decided to run another one today during business hours on a Thursday, which is the day that we're closing the cart or closing our doors, I should say, for the recipe. And course creators say we close the cart, and for the public, it's really closing the door. So this is the last day that you can enroll in the recipe program. And I'm going live on 3 networks right now. My primary network is LinkedIn, but I have noticed over the past few years, I've been live streaming since 2019, and I have noticed that live streaming viewership has declined. And I think that a part of it is human nature. We are getting fatigued with, there's like a life cycle to everything. And we were getting fatigued to watching live videos. I think they were really big during the pandemic, as was Clubhouse, the audio device, right? And now that we're back to in person, we're back to work and we're not watching live videos as much as we used to. So, what I've observed for myself, and maybe you've seen the same thing, is that I get probably a quarter to a third of my total audience live viewing. That's at any point during the video, people will be popping in, and usually about, 2/3 to 3/4 watching in the playback. So I'm hoping this reaches you whether you are watching live or in playback. And what I'm doing right now is I'm live streaming through my laptop. I'm using Restream for this. I'm going on LinkedIn, as I mentioned, YouTube, which that's where I put all my content. I've recently monetized my channel, so I'm earning a little bit of money on those videos as well. And then I'm live streaming to Instagram as well. And part of the reason I'm going on Instagram is I know there's a portion of people that may be watching on Instagram that are thinking about coming on over to LinkedIn, right? And maybe dipping their toe in the water there, finding some more clients out there. So if you're mainly using Instagram, there's a good chance you're only seeing me here and you're not seeing me on LinkedIn. So the format I'm going to do today is I want to give you a walkthrough of my signature program, which is called the Recipe for Social Selling on LinkedIn. I'm actually going to pull it up on screen, demonstrate a couple of videos, kind of navigate through that process. And I'm also going to show you what the checkout process looks like. So if you decide you do want to sign up for the recipe program, let me drop that link up on the chat. Oh, by the way, I think there's a little QR code. Yeah, look at this up right here. You can try that out. Try it with your phone. If you're watching this on your laptop, you're gonna be able to pull out your phone, open up your phone to the camera app. We don't need a QR code anymore, like a QR code app. You just open it up like you're taking a picture and get it pretty close to the screen, and then it should load the web page, which is mellermarketing.com/recipe. And then you should be able to see some of the things I'm doing. So you can actually have it on your phone if you want to kind of follow along with me there. What else did I want to do? So I'm pulling up the live stream in all 3 networks because of the fact that sometimes we will see the comments. I'm going to start pulling your comments in right now so I can see. Sometimes we'll see them live right away on Restream, and other times there's a little bit of a delay, and sometimes I don't see the comments at all. So I like to have the fail safe, backup plan in place here. So I see the comments that are coming in. For example, I'm seeing Jamie and I see the little in badge on her name. So I know she's coming in from LinkedIn. Jamie is watching us from, I believe that's British Columbia, Canada, if I'm not mistaken. And she's saying excited to be here. And I also see Jamie is watching and says good morning and watching live here as well. So I see we've got a couple of viewers coming in from LinkedIn. um, I'm also seeing up on screen in Restream, this is interesting. It's saying 2 live viewers right now, which are probably Jamie and, is it Jamie? All 3? Oh, there's 2 Jamies. There's a Jamie B and a Jamie J. So this is Club Jamie on our live stream today. Welcome to the club if you're in a Jamie member there. And it's also showing me there are 4 people who've scanned my QR code. So how cool is that? I didn't know that Restream did that. So thank you, Restream, for doing that. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got my comments that are pulling up. I'm loading them in LinkedIn just to make sure I'm not missing any comments that are coming in. And I am seeing the same comments on LinkedIn. I actually see one from Erica as well. Erica Knoll joining from Houston, Team Live as well. So Erica, I don't see your comment up on Restream yet, but I'm seeing it on LinkedIn. This is part of the reason I do what I do. And by the way, I am always looking at learning new techniques and sharing those techniques with all of you. That's part of the reason I'm doing this live right now as well. So let me just do this real quick. You're gonna hear some sound for just a second. Okay, I just muted it so you shouldn't hear it anymore. So now I can see the live stream from YouTube as well. I'm just going to say welcome on there so people know that the chat is open. And then the final thing I'm doing is I'm opening up Instagram and I see someone from Legacy Insurance Group watching out on there. So I'll just say welcome. Now, Instagram, your comments won't pull up, but I got you covered because I'm watching you up on screen and I'll periodically go on there and check. What I'm going to do first is give you the virtual tour, the open house tour of the recipe for social selling on LinkedIn, and then I'll take some questions. Now, those of you that are watching on LinkedIn or on YouTube, your comments are going to load on screen, but there's going to be a little bit of a delay. Club Jamies are all excited. But I will go out periodically and check your comments. And then if you do have any LinkedIn questions, drop those into comments. Don't wait till the end. Like drop your comments in here now, and I will do some Q&A at the end of our session. All right, so we're gonna turn that ticker running along the bottom. We're gonna turn that off. And I do like to have up on screen because there might be people that are coming in with sound turned off and they're like, what is this thing that she's doing? This is what I'm doing right here. It's an open house tour of the recipe for social selling on LinkedIn. I'm only planning on going for 30 minutes here today because I'm busy, you're busy, right? We got to get you back to work. But I do want to give you a quick overview and tour of this. So I'm going to start off by I'm going to share my screen. And let me just click on screen share. You can see here as the screen share comes up, there's my Instagram feed. I'm going to start actually by showing you, this is just the landing page. If you were to click that QR code, the one that's in the upper left-hand corner, let me see if I make this, I'm trying to figure out the best camera I guess that's okay. Is that okay? Because then you can see me. Is it better to see me on the top or the bottom? What do you think? Probably on the bottom. I'm gonna say the bottom. I don't know. If I switch positions, is that better? Because then it looks like I'm looking down. Maybe that's better. I was on a call with Carrie Saunders the other day. I'm gonna give her a quick shout out on LinkedIn. And we were talking about my landing page for the recipe. And Carrie specializes in SEO design for web pages. And she was giving me some really great pointers on different features that are inside the web page. And I made some changes live time on there. And one of which was there are testimonials that I have on my landing page for the recipe. So if you go to, let me see if I have it up on screen. Here it is right here. So if you go to mellermarketing.com/recipe, and by the way, here's a little pro technique on marketing. When you show your web addresses on screen, take out things that people don't need. Like you don't need to type in https:// whatever those things are. Just type in mellermarketing.com/recipe. It is a secure page, but you don't need that, right? So that's what I'll do. And if you go to that page right now, you can scan the QR code, which is here, right? Or you can visit the web link, which you see below. It will take you to this landing page. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see that there are some testimonials. So let me just show you the one that Carrie recommended that I change. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the page here. We'll come back to this in a minute. I know you're like, wait, that's all that fun stuff. It's really good stuff. We'll come back to that in just a moment. But if you scroll down, scroll down. So I've got some video testimonials in here. If you click the video link that will play right inside the app, I'm not going to do that right now. That's my friend and client, Dr. Brian Grossman. But I had some just still photos along with text testimonials. Here's 3 from Carol, Sam, and Chris. I've got some more. I always ask all my students after they've completed the program or after we've completed their cohort to give me a testimonial. So here's what I'm referring to. Can I make this a little bit larger? I think I can. Okay, so you see the photo of the gentleman on the very left. He's not looking directly at the camera. His name's Jim Stowe, by the way. He's kind of looking off camera to I think his left, I have to think about how he's sitting, but I originally had his photo over on the very right-hand side of the screen where you see June Laffey. She's the woman with the short, kind of brownish reddish hair. And Carrie said, "Hey, change the position so that way Jim's looking into the screen." And it's a very subtle psychological technique. So right now, as I'm doing this demonstration, I'm like pointing down, which is the things that you're looking at. Whereas if I was on the bottom pointing up, it would feel very unnatural for me and maybe a little unnatural for you. I don't know. But that's part of I mean what I love about networking and working with other people. And by the way, I think I've got a testimonial from Carrie on here. Let me see. Did you see her name when I scrolled through? I know I have her on here. I think she might be one of the video testimonials. Let me scroll up. You're going to go, "Oh, there she is. There she is. Carrie Saunders." She's got a yellow video icon in the middle of her face here. But if I click on play, you can see there's Carrie Saunders on here. You know what? I just thought about another idea. I'm going to add in burned in captions to these testimonials. It's a really great technique for people that have their sound off because they can see the words. So I will be making a change. I don't know if it'll be today, but it'll be coming up on that webpage. At any rate, this is the landing page for the recipe for social selling on LinkedIn. For those of you who know me, you know that my area of expertise is LinkedIn, and I come from a corporate marketing background. I love teaching people how to get a bigger slice of the LinkedIn pie. And a lot of times people come to me for one-to-one coaching, for team training, to do conference workshops, things like that, and to help them to optimize their time and their presence on LinkedIn. And they're like, how do you do that? So I put together, this is an online program where I'm helping you to discover the right ingredients to LinkedIn success. Now, if you know me, you know I love pie, right? So I'm always trying to think of clever ways, and storytelling is a really powerful approach to help you to remember things, right? So PI is not just something I love, it's also an acronym that I use when I'm doing team training and conference presentations. And I have a book called Social Media Pie: How to Enjoy a Bigger Slice of LinkedIn. So when I launched my signature program, I decided to bring in that kind of love of cooking pie theme as well. So I called it the recipe. So the recipe for social selling on LinkedIn. And inside the program, this is a LinkedIn course that is focused on social selling. That's LinkedIn's terminology, not mine. But LinkedIn is the sandbox that we're all playing in here, right? So we better understand the rules of the algorithm and what that means. And the course is designed to help you to optimize your time and presence, to improve your visibility on the platform, and to generate high quality leads. Now, LinkedIn's an amazing platform, over 1 billion members, and people from every industry type and every phase of their career, from recent college graduates all the way up to retirees and consultants and corporate employees along the way. We're all on LinkedIn, and it's a professional networking site. So you can find a lot of different individuals that are on here, and some of which you might not be connecting with on Facebook or Instagram because of their personal preferences, privacy, and things like that. Whereas on LinkedIn, we're much more open to connecting. So I've created this program, and it includes online instruction, short 5 to 10 minute videos. So you can kind of watch as you go, watch as you have time in your day. And then I give you a downloadable checklist for you to walk through. Within the videos, I give you explanation, I do demonstrations on screen, and I give you examples of each of these things. So I'll show you a video in a second about. I'll do the LinkedIn headline one today. So I'll show you different headlines as examples inside there. And there's some bonuses when you sign up for the recipe program as well. I've got a prompts and scripts bonus, and I've got a content calendar bonus in here as well. So this is really designed for those of you who are self-employed, small business owners. Maybe you work for an organization in a B2B role as a sales professional or marketing professional. I even have other LinkedIn trainers and coaches that have enrolled in my program, and I welcome that. Learn from me and go off and help others as well. I'm of the abundance mentality. I think there's more than enough work to go around for all of us, and I find it flattering that people want to learn from me. Now, for me, I know when I first started off as a LinkedIn, kind of specializing in LinkedIn, I wouldn't call myself a coach back then, but I was learning from other people that were maybe 5 or 6 years ahead of me. And I remember enrolling in this one program. I'm not going to name the name of the person, but within the first week of the program, I could tell that their content was outdated and they hadn't kept up with changes on the platform. So I immediately requested a refund. I was still in their refund policy at that point. I said, this is probably not for me. And I kind of pointed out, you've got some things that are outdated on here. I don't know if they took action on it or not. But for me, it was really important when I launched my course that I wanted to make sure that I am covering the very same techniques that I'm using, and I'm teaching it to you as my client and as my member. And then I also make sure that I'm reviewing the content at least once or twice a year to make sure that any changes on the platform are also reflected inside the course. So this is not dated. This is like relevant for today. Now, LinkedIn does roll out changes in waves. So I make sure that it's either completely phased out or completely rolled out before incorporating it into the program. And if there's anything that you need to be aware of, for example, you need to be a premium member, I'll make notations on that. And when does it make sense to upgrade? I'll make notations on that as well. But that's essentially the core program, the recipe. And as you go through the webpage, you're going to notice here that, well, first of all, I want to let you know today is the last day to enroll in cohort 6. This is the sixth time I'm launching this program, and I'm asking everyone to go through in a cohort approach so that you can learn and network with each other. And we're doing our enrollment right now, and enrollment is going to be open only until 8 p.m. Eastern time today. As you navigate through the web page, you're going to see I have two levels of the recipe. Is this large enough? I think you can read this on screen. Can I make it any bigger? I think I can make it bigger, but then the boxes get long and skinny. That's probably okay though. Okay, so let's start with the DIY level. So this is do it yourself, DIY. So when you enroll in the program, you get lifetime program access. I open up one module at a time, 1 month apart to give you time to do the work. You work through the pace at your own pace in the online program. And then if you need to rewatch lessons, you can rewatch lessons. You can do that over and over again. Okay. So this is the DIY level, a little bit more budget friendly for you and for those individuals that are looking for that core program. Now, I've also added in for the very first time a VIP level, which you see on the right hand side of your screen here. So the VIP level, it's not for everyone. It's only for individuals that are looking for some additional personalized guidance from me and a VIP experience. So what I've added in there, you get everything in the DIY level in VIP. You get the core program, work through the pace at your own, work through the program at your own pace, work at your pace through the program. Let me try that again. And then you also get VIP access to me with 1 year of small group coaching. Now I say small group coaching because this is not 200 people in a room with me on video and everybody video off. This is a small Zoom account. We usually have probably between 5 to 15 individual students in a group coaching and on a call, I should say, depending on the time of year and vacations and things like that. Sometimes it's a smaller group, which is awesome because you get more personalized instruction. Other times it's a larger group, which is awesome because you get to network and learn from other people and learn from their questions. And I've designed this program so that in the year, throughout the year, you can really jump in and out as your schedule allows you. So every month, we're going to be holding two group coaching sessions. And we're going to start these in October. So the first session in October, I'm going to start with a lesson related to module one, which is profile optimization. I'll go through the modules in just a minute here. And then after that short lesson, it'll probably be 5 to 10 minutes. I'll go through something that's covered in the program, but giving you live instruction, giving you the chance to ask any questions. And then I'll open the floor for anyone who's in the group coaching cohort to ask questions. If you need feedback on your profile, feedback on your posts, if you want some quick troubleshooting on things, or if you just want to listen in, that's totally fine too. But we'll be meeting for an hour. Okay. So that's the first session in October. The second session in October we'll go start with a lesson from module two. So I'll do a quick 5 to 10 minute instruction, something covered in the program, but giving you that live instruction. And then I'll give you the chance to ask questions. Now, because this is small group, everyone who's on the call will get the opportunity to ask questions. This is not going to be those things where you like put your hand up and the host runs out of time. I will make sure that we facilitate the floor and everybody gets some time. And you can even do a screen share. And this is a really interactive session. So that'll be October. Then November, we go through module 3 and 4 in the first and second session in the month. Then back in December, I'm going to cycle back through and start with module 1 again, but a different lesson. So what I've heard from some of my current students in cohorts 1 through 5 is sometimes they've commented that they feel like they've fallen behind in the course content, like they're not getting through the work, and then they feel guilty coming into the group coaching calls. So now I've reconfigured the group coaching calls, adding in some live education along with it. And that way you're not going to feel guilty because we're going to rotate through basically every other month. We're going to rotate through module 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Okay. And you do that for a year and you get access to the recordings in case you miss anything. So that's one thing we're adding into VIP level. The second thing I've added in is for LinkedIn one-to-one consultation. So what I'm going to do is a marketing audit of your LinkedIn profile, and then I'm going to provide you with personalized recipe feedback. So let's say, Bob signs up in my program. I'm going to do the marketing audit. Actually, we do a discovery call first, a 15-minute discovery call. Then I do the marketing audit of your profile. Then I provide you with here's the audit, here's what I found, and here's the 5 things I recommend that you do. So I'm going to give you a personalized approach to this. And often I have my students that will say, just tell me exactly what you need me to do. This is what the 4 consultations are all about. You can use those anytime over the course of a year in the program. I recommend you do the first one in the first month, get the jump start there. But that will be what you can do inside there. So let me just pull this down so you can see with either route that you take, either DIY or VIP, you can choose the single payment, pay in full to start right away. So DIY is 14.97. The VIP level is 24.97, or you can do the 12 pay and you can join the recipe program today. If you do DIY, it's 147 a month. So 147 today, and then it'll set you up for the renewal every month there. Or if you want to do VIP, you can join for just 247. So 247 today, and then it'll bill you for the remaining 9 monthly payments in there. Okay. All right. So that's kind of an overview of the landing page. What will happen is if you do decide you want to join, you click on the link, it'll take you to the checkout page. Fill out all your great information in there. Make sure that you're using the email address that you're going to be using for the course because that's what I'll be sending you information. And then after you've completed that transaction, then it will take you to this really fun welcome page. You get the animated confetti saying success. Let me see if I can make this a little larger so you can read it. It says success. Congratulations. Can you read this? It's a little bit small on my screen. Congratulations on enrolling and welcome to the recipe for social selling on LinkedIn. And then you can click login now and it will take you to a login page. I'll show you in just a second what that looks like. Also, it will give you an overview of the program timeline. And I'm showing both options, whether you do DIY or VIP level. Okay. So all the items are in here. I'm not going to go through it in the interest of time, but this will be after you sign up. You get all of the layout of the time elements on here. All right, so I showed you the sign up page, which is, at the top it says discover the right ingredients to LinkedIn success. This is the recipe sign up page. I've showed you the welcome page, which is the little funfetti animated graphic after you do the checkout. And then after you click on login, it will take you to your program library. You know what I didn't do is I didn't load it up. Let me do this real quick in the background. The fun thing about going live is I never have mistakes. Did you know that? I have learning experiences. Today's learning experience was that I forgot to load up the recipe program because this is really the crux of this open house is to show you the recipe program, the live environment, and I had neglected to load that. So this is a mini learning experience. Now the thing here is I'm not going to be doing another open house. This is the or the second and the final one, but this will show you this is live and it does show you this is not overly produced. I'm not going to edit this part out. And I also want to show you I'm human. This is what I do. And I'm walking you through what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Because if you have a similar situation happen where something goes wrong with your technology, you know what's more important than being perfect is putting your audience at ease. That's what I'm trying to do with you right now. I don't want you to get in a panic going, oh my gosh, I forgot to do something and then close out the window. I want you to see like, how do I navigate through this process? The more you do this, the more of these learning experiences you have, the better and the more polished you get, like I'm doing right now. So let me show you with all that said, this is the recipe landing page. And let me actually start with, I need to go up one level just to show you the categories inside here. So when you first come inside the recipe, make these a little bit larger so you can read them. When you enroll today, you'll have access to the welcome and the introduction section. And then once a month, I'll be opening up the modules. The module one, profile optimization, that will be opening up tomorrow, Friday, September 26th. And that will be focused on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile for your ideal target audience in a step-by-step process. Module two is growing your network, finding leads and VIP referral partners to connect with on LinkedIn, and how to start conversations to support your business growth. Then, module three is posting and engagement. You'll learn how to apply social selling principles into your posts on LinkedIn and in with engagement with others. And finally, module four, your company page and assessing progress. So, two separate, distinct categories of lessons here. I'm going to show you how to fully leverage your LinkedIn company page as an extension of your personal brand. If you don't have a company page yet, I'm going to show you how to set that up and what to do to get it active. And then I'm also going to show you how to use your company page for lead generation because it shouldn't just be something sitting in the background. You should be using it to support your business growth. And then we're going to look at your LinkedIn analytics and different ways of assessing your progress on the platform, as well as actually finding lead opportunities in there as well. So that will be all inside module four. And I'm going to show you a quick sneak peek into each of these. Hopefully you're enjoying this behind the scenes tour here. Starting with the welcome section, I'm going to click on that. And you're going to notice if you sign up inside here, some of these lessons, let me make this a little bit larger on screen. You're going to see like this one is a video lesson. It says, welcome to the recipe for social selling. Sometimes they're read only. So this one says, you can see this on screen, this is a read only section. So sometimes it's just information like this is, the lesson about your instructor. Whereas the welcome is actually a welcome video. So let me show you that one real quick here. I'm going to close off. Because I'm an admin of my website, I keep getting that purple message at the top that says you're in preview mode. I'm a Kajabi user, and if you're a Kajabi user, I don't know if there's a way that you can disable that. I think it has to remain running because it knows that you're like the admin. At any rate, once you go inside the lesson, the very first video is the welcome and introduction. I think the sound will play. Let me play this for a second. Tell me if you can hear the sound up on screen. I'm going to play it for about 10 or 15 seconds. Okay, can you hear the sound? I'm gonna mute the sound right now so you can see the video continues to play in the background. Did you hear the sound? I'm curious. There's a little bit of a delay, so let me know in chat if you can hear the sound. I'm curious if the sound is popping up or if you're just seeing the background video playing on there. I was just popping into Instagram to see comments, but then I realized you're gonna see me doing that. So let me know. I'll give it a second to see if any LinkedIn comments are coming in here if the sound is playing. It's just curiosity whether that's happening or not. Um, so each of the lessons, I want to let you know, you're watching them on your laptop. Some people watch them on their phone. I know when I do online courses, I tend to watch lessons. I'll watch them like two or three times. The first time when I'm out walking Pepper, I'll play the lesson and I'll hear what's being described, right? And I might do that for multiple lessons inside a module, and then go back and when I'm sitting in front of my laptop, I rewatch them again, and then I'm pulling up the screens and doing the work. I did this technique when I was going through my MBA program as well, and this is one of the benefits of online learning. You can watch the videos again and again because sometimes it takes you that repetition to build up familiarity and memorability, right? So the good thing is you can watch these again and again. And the other thing is you can, there's a little X in the, or a square in the lower right hand corner where you can make it full screen. And then there's a gear icon in this little corner as well. It's probably pretty tiny for you to see, but right now it says speed one time. So let's say you're a little bit more advanced on LinkedIn. I talk fast anyways, but maybe you're like, I can really speed this up because I already have a photo on my account or whatever that lesson is. So you can go to two times and you can have Brenda Meller go super, super fast in there. Now, let's say you're a little bit more experience rich and less tech savvy. I'm experience rich. So I'm going to use that phrase as well. You can click on that gear icon and you can slow me down to 0.75 times speed. So it's going to slow that down significantly, or even to the point 0.5. You can slow that down a little bit more if you'd like on there. See my fingers go, whoa, they're a little bit slow in the pointing down. So there's some cool features that are inside the video panel in there. I always like to give people a tour of that. And the other thing is, I'm just going to pause this video and you can see on the slider, if you slide it all the way to the end, this is a 3-minute video. So all of the videos I have inside the recipe are like 5 to 10 minutes. I think there's only one that's 15 minutes. Most of them, I want them to be short, snackable videos where you can just watch these on the go and not feel like you're blocking out 30 minutes, 90 minutes to work on them. So that's inside the welcome section. Let me go back to the welcome and introduction just so you can see. I've got about me, an overview of the modules. You can look up your social selling index. We do that at the beginning of the program. I give you some instructions on our LinkedIn group and how to join our DM chat. And then initially I get some questions. So I've done some LinkedIn FAQs about social selling in there. Then when we go inside of module one, I'm gonna make these a little bit larger so you can see. So we have short lessons on different topics. So let me show you, I showed the header image yesterday. So let me show you, um, let's see what I wanna show. I'll do the edit intro section in here. So this is another video inside the recipe. And when you click on play, video is gonna start playing. I did mute it, so you're not gonna hear the sound right now. Let me click on, I don't know if you can hear that sound or not. You hear this? Yes, I see people saying yes. I'm assuming that means yes to the sound. Say yes to the sound if you could hear it. I just pick up on my computer sound, but I'm not sure because I'm using a microphone, and I think the microphone might only be picking up on this and not my speaker, at any rate inside there. So this video itself is about 6 minutes, 12 seconds long. And then underneath the lesson, you're going to see sometimes I'll put like some screen captures of the things that were covered in the video so you can refer back to them, along with explanation of any of the fields that we had discussed. Sometimes I'll show examples up on screen here as well. And you can just see this is kind of an overview of the information that's included inside here. Now, right now I'm going through and editing this because there used to be a custom website link we could all put at the top. And if you had premium business, you could use a custom button. The website link is now only available if you have it on your profile. So I'm telling people don't edit it. If you edit, it might disappear, and they are going to be phasing that out eventually. But I'm also, I pooled my LinkedIn network coaches and trainers, and I said, can you have both? And I have some examples that I'm going to be adding into this lesson. So that'll be added in by tomorrow. So that's a brief overview of profile optimization. Let me see. I think I had some examples in module one as well, where, what I try to do inside here is to give you some different ways of using what I'm teaching you that are pertinent to you in the field that you're in. So I will give you like some specific examples. These are technical elements of your headline. Let me see if I had some examples. And sometimes below here, you'll see comments from people that are inside the course. So there's a great one. Jen Felstead Knight. I'm going to give her a shout out in here. So she did her old headline, which read, I don't know if you can see this up on screen, leadership coach for women in STEM, neuroscientist, career strategist, workplace well-being coach, speaker, based on the instruction that she got inside the recipe and my recommendations. She amped this up, and this was back in April. There's a good chance if you look at her profile today, she's changed it again, which is a good practice. But at the time, she changed it to leadership coach for women in STEM, offer one-to-one LinkedIn coaching and career strategy. And everything is in here intentionally, both from a keyword perspective and where it's located in here. You'll also notice she started to use some emojis to add a little pop of color inside. So that was a pretty cool thing that she did. Right. So all of the participants in the program, you're going to see questions and comments from all previous recipe members as well, from cohorts 1 through 5. So you can learn from them, you can see their examples, and you can network with them inside the program as well. So that's module one. I'm not going to go through each of the modules inside here, but if you do have any questions about what's covered in the recipe, do let me know. This is a live virtual open house, and this isn't the full program. So this is almost like if you were to go to a bakery, right? And you say, oh, I'm going to get a pie today. Maybe they have little pie samples on the counter, and you tie a little sample of the strawberry rhubarb pie. You're like, oh, that was really good. Grand Traverse Pie used to have the little paper cups, and you could try the pie. They give you a little fork to go with it. And you're like, oh, that's really good. I want to get that slice. I want to get a slice or a whole pie. You can't get that for free, right? Like that you have to pay for, because that's how they do business. So many people know me for all the free resources and information that I provide. And I love to do that for all of you, but I'm also self-employed. I no longer earn a paycheck. So you might be thinking, gosh, I've been learning from her for so long. This is the way, getting inside the recipe is a way that you can really supercharge your learning from me in a very structured way. I call this the recipe for social selling because it's the same methodology that I use to grow my presence, to evolve my presence, to continually get an average of 2 to 5 inbound leads a week on LinkedIn, and a platform for helping to grow thought leadership and visibility and shining the spotlight on others. So this is what I teach you inside the recipe for social selling on LinkedIn. Okay. So got the QR code up over here. Got the link below if you're thinking about signing up. And again, if you're just joining us, this is an open house tour of my signature program, which is called the Recipe for Social Selling on LinkedIn. And I'm only keeping the doors open until 8 p.m. tonight. All right, we've got just a few minutes left. We're a little bit over time, but I do want to see if there's any questions or comments that had come in here. And I'm going to pop into Instagram real quick. I see Carla joined us. I see a few additional folks that joined us on there. Out on YouTube, I'm not seeing any folks that are joining out on YouTube with additional comments. There might be viewers, but no additional comments there. And then I'm going to check over to LinkedIn, doing a quick page refresh. I'm actually in my activity feed section. That's for me as a live stream host, or even as a live stream viewer for that matter. I find it's better to watch it in the activity feed of the person's profile versus clicking on the video, because then the comments load one by one. You can still like them, you can still reply back to them, but sometimes if you notice, like if you do that in the live stream, like it's full screen, it kind of messes up the feed when you comment, so it makes you not want to comment. If that doesn't make sense to you, it's because this is what I do for a living, and I really spend a lot of time understanding how to be more efficient with your time and your results on LinkedIn. This is what I teach you inside the recipe. So I'm going to look inside the comment section of the live stream video on LinkedIn. I still see there's 4 people that are watching live. I'm super excited there's 4 people watching. You might go, Brenda, why aren't you disappointed? You have 70,000 followers. Why aren't you disappointed that you're not getting more people? You know what? I was on a live stream. I'm going to name names right now. Gary V. You know how many followers Gary V has on LinkedIn? I think he's got like 7 million now. It's like insanely high. Gary V, during his live stream, he had 100 live viewers. I'm not a huge math person, so you can do the math. 100 live viewers for somebody who had 7 million followers. Is that proportionate to 4 live stream viewers for somebody who has 70,000 followers? I think it probably is. Maybe mine's even a little bit higher. I don't know if you want to do the quick math. I might try that later, but I'm happy with the 4 because I know that, again, as I said in the beginning, there's going to be a portion of people who are watching the live stream later in the playback, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's on LinkedIn. And there's going to be people who end up watching this video on Saturday or Sunday or 2 weeks from now or 2 months from now. I am closing off registration. I will open it up again. I don't know when, but some of the bonuses that I'm offering now will not be offered in the next launch. So there'll be other bonuses, but I can't say that they'll be as good. So I do want to encourage you, if you're thinking about signing up, go to mellermarketing.com/recipe. I do have a discovery call link. If you have any questions before signing up, you can get some time on my calendar today. I'll call you by phone, not on Zoom. We'll do this by phone, and I can help to answer any questions that you have. All right. JV says, love my cup. I think I got this from my son's friend. His name's Ashton. It says sipping on sunshine. Isn't it fun? And I thought it really color coordinated well with my blue top today. So I did that for all of you here, trying to color coordinate here. So thank you, Jamie, for watching today. I appreciate it. Jamie said can't hear it. So it sounds like I was probably right. My microphone is really good at picking up this sound, but not sound from over here. So I'm not sure how you would even do that. I'd probably have to turn off my microphone and pick up the speaker sound. Probably not even worth it. But I think you can see that it was animated up on screen at any rate. All right. Let's see if there's any other comments that are coming in here. I don't see them. So I'm going to turn off the comments inside of Kajabi. This is the tricky part. Like, how do I do this inside Kajabi? And I want to thank all of you. If you enjoyed this session here today, I'd love it if you could do me a favor, which is as soon as you're done watching this, could you share the video along? At the bottom of the video, you'll see a little paper airplane icon. You just click to share it along. Maybe tell people something that you learned from watching the video. Maybe you picked up a LinkedIn tip today, or maybe just reshare the video to show your support of me. That would mean the world to me. If you do that, I will return the favor to you. I'll look for one of your recent posts. I'll add a thoughtful comment on there as well, help to jumpstart the algorithm. Sometimes people do this in a paid pod. I don't like that. I just do this out of the spirit of reciprocity. You help me, I help you type of a thing. And by engaging with each other, we'll start to see more of each other's posts on the platform as well. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. So I want to thank you again for watching, whether you're watching on live or you're watching this in replay. Still continue to leave comments below. And if you're on my VIP email list, check your email. You'll get some reminders about the recipe that will be closing registration for today. This is Brenda Meller helping you to get a bigger slice of the LinkedIn pie. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a wonderful day. And I look forward to seeing you on LinkedIn. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.